Hey, I want to say excuse me for my handwriting in advance, but I'm going to show you how the book outline checklist that I created for my students at the Elite Writers Academy works for TV, books, movies. It doesn't matter. The concept is the same. So the first thing I want to do on this, I'm going to write the date 12/16/21. So although it says the reason for writing the book, because we're going to do this based off the show Harlem, which by the way, I absolutely love, I have to determine the reason the writers may wanted to tell the show. So since I watched the beginning to the end, I'm going to say that if you find love, try your best at all costs to keep it together. Again, now if I'm a writer writing my novel, I'm going to know the reason why, but again, since I'm guessing based off the show from seeing from the end, I'm believing that's what the ultimate goal was for this particular show. Okay, so what does the protagonist want? The character that plays, that Megan Gooden actually is detailing or characterizing, she wants success. And she wants success at the job that she's in. She's a professor, and so she wants to go to the highest levels within this particular college. So she wants success. This is her goal. And the thing I want to point out, be successful at work. Okay, and this is over everything. The thing I want to point out is with this checklist, the reason that the writers may have for the character doesn't always connect. She wants something else, but again, based on me seeing the show, I believe they're trying to show her if you find love, stay with it at all costs. So I want to say this: whenever you're penning a novel or something like that, don't be surprised if the reason does not connect with the protagonist wants. So the 4 messy traits in environments preventing the goal. Since we know that she wants success above all, since I have looked at the show, one of the first things that I would consider her messy trait is she was willing to compromise love. So she actually let her boyfriend go when in the beginning of the show, you find out why towards the end, but she let him go. Now it appears that she let him go because he has some traits that may not have been good for a husband as far as his finances. But as the show goes on, you know that basically she chose her job. So she was willing to compromise love. She's also too eager to please the bosses. Now, I always suggest writers pick out at least 4 because it helps and matters a lot towards the end. The other thing is she's afraid of change. And the reason why I say that is because she is very, I guess, firm on wanting things not to, change, specifically as it relates to her city, Harlem. Okay. And I'm going to take 3. I could probably pick out some more, but for the sake of this video and keeping it to the point, I'm going to move on. The push out of the window moment is the moment where something changes, but for this incident, things will remain the same. In this case with Megan Good in the show Harlem, her ex-boyfriend returns. So she's living her life. She'd already let him go, and he returns engaged. So, but for this incident, nothing would change in her life. So this is the push out a window moment. The next thing that happens is it says, how can the antagonist stop your protagonist? Now, when I teach people how to structure their books and things like that, I always talk about having an antagonist. When you are a newer writer, it's easier if you have an active antagonist, but it's not always necessary. So in this case, Megan is her actual own self-antagonist. So we have a self-antagonist. She's causing the most problems in her life. She doesn't need an antagonist. So how can the antagonist stop the protagonist? First of all, she is too eager to please at work. And rubs bosses the wrong way. So since we know that she wants to be successful at work, her eagerness or over eagerness is causing issues, and as a result, it's preventing her from getting what she wants. So you can see right here by looking at this checklist, there's a problem. Finally, at the end, it says, which messy traits resolved? Does the protagonist get the goal? So the goal is to be successful at work. No, she does not get the goal. But whenever you're telling a story, it is always imperative that the character, the main protagonist, arcs. And even though she does not get her main goal to be successful at work, all of these, most of them rather, have changed. Number one, she's willing to compromise for love. Actually, she's not anymore. So that's changed. No longer willing to compromise. And I'm going ... And the reason why that is changed because at the end, she kisses her ex-fiance and it appears that they may get back together. Of course, that's the end of the show. We don't really know. Number two, is eager to please the bosses. No, that's changed. No longer eager to please because she quit. And again, now you're not going to be able to read none of this because it's my handwriting. And finally, she's afraid of change. Now, we haven't addressed that, but guess what? Because we have to change, the character who's at the beginning of this story is not the same at the end. I don't care where you put this at, 90% of the time, actually 95, 94% of the time, you're going to be able to use this checklist to not only create your books, but if you watch a movie, you're going to be able to use this and see everything play out. Just so you know, this is available at the EliteWritersAcademy.com. Get this right now in connection with the chapter checklist. There is absolutely no reason why you can't build the best book and a book that you are proud of. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.